Welcome to Beyond the Product. This is episode 5, the social media game. I'm Jason.
And I'm Miranda.
And today we're talking about social media in our small business, the ups, the downs, the strategies, things that we've learned along the way. So Miranda, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Want to get into it? Well, let's start this off by first off talking about in the beginning of how you did not feel we should get on social media, especially TikTok.
Yeah, I didn't want you to. I thought it was just like a app for dancing kids.
Right.
It didn't seem like it was going to be any benefit to us at that time.
Right. Until the bank account was in the negative, and it's like, what do we have to lose?
Exactly.
Any efforts at this point, right?
Yeah.
And so we started posting videos on TikTok. And I would say the biggest thing when we first started posting social media, we took our own experiences and applied it to marketing because that's what it was. We were trying to market our product, and my experience with marketing was TV commercials.
Yeah. Hey, look at this product.
Right.
Look at all these features it has. It's so
Right.
amazing. It's cool. You should buy one.
Yeah, I would say our first 50 videos were very, very car salesman-y, if that's even a word. And we would get no views, hardly any views on it. And as time progressed, I feel like we started making those changes. But the thing I learned the most about when we were doing these car salesman pitches, it was all about the features, right? It's like, oh, look at our fire pit. Oh, 1/4-inch steel. And those are features we learned that people, they don't care about that. They're going to care about that later once you get them in the door. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to, I don't feel like it's going to get someone interested in your brand or what you have to offer, right? You have to sell the experience, and we'll get more into that. But starting out with social media, you have to develop brand awareness, and you have to have people looking at you, right?
Right.
And social media is that option that allows you to not spend a bunch of money.
Right. It was just time. And yeah, we didn't pay to talk about our products or have our products in videos, which
Right. Well, we couldn't afford it.
we couldn't afford anyway.
We could
Yeah.
not afford traditional marketing. Now, if you have maybe a service business and you can put an ad in the local paper, that'll work. The local radio stations. We weren't necessarily a service business, and we were a repair shop, but
It was all word of mouth if we were going to get an outside
Right.
job.
Right.
We didn't advertise it,
right.
but we
And-
posted our videos. We eventually started posting pictures, but Facebook came later on in the game, actually.
Yeah.
TikTok was where we started. And we post, maybe once a day at first. And then we started
I don't think we were posting once a day. I think,
once a week.
and it was always everything we posted was always like a sales pitch. Every time, and it's not that you're not trying to throw out a sales pitch in a sense, but it's trying to look at it at a totally different perspective and of what we wanted to offer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about brand awareness and visibility, what was our brand? Why was our brand? And that was one of the first things we had to kind of identify, right? And what was our why? And we knew right away, like, we enjoy the experience that these products bring. And I like building this stuff. I like seeing the people's reaction when they get this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our why.
Right.
The sales pitch isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
We know why we want to sell this to people. or we know why we feel people should have this. So now, how do we market that? How do we?
And it just got to the point where we just video doing anything and everything in the shop, not even focusing on the product.
Not even focusing on the
People
product.
got to learn who we were. We did fun trends that didn't necessarily have to do anything with our products. We would catch ourselves dancing in a video because it happened to be trending. But at that time, it was like, how do we reach more people? How do we create that visibility? And it was trying to find the trends and
The salesman approach wasn't working.
No.
And when we first started off, it was DIY tips. Remember, it was just like little welding tips, little fabrication tips in the shop, little things like that. And that was going out to people that were interested in that. So it was other small shops, other fabrication shops, other welders, and those weren't necessarily going to be the people that would want to buy our products. Most of those guys could build it themselves.
Yeah.
And how do you share the experience? And then that's when we started playing around with our skit videos.
Mm-hmm.
That added a little humor, right? And we could do things with our products in it.
The husband and wife.
Yeah.
Little arguments.
Yeah. Real life stuff, though.
Buying tools. Yeah. Spending all that money, putting it back into the business, which I was not against. But in the videos, it made it fun. Saying, you can't buy that. What would you buy that for? That's crazy.
Exactly.
But it just related to a lot of people.
Right. And then that allowed videos to go out further and get out further. I bet you, gosh, what would you, probably 10 years ago? When was social media?
I don't know.
15
social
years
media,
ago?
YouTube's been around for a while.
Right. But I don't think a lot of people looked at YouTube as a marketing avenue. Now it is, obviously, but it was just a place to share your videos, and I could be wrong about that. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know a lot of guys, there are guys out there that have established facilities that don't need social media. It's not something that they're either not interested in it, or their social media content will be a little more on the salesman side, a little more of that approach, kind of talking about their products and their features. But they've usually developed a name for themselves already. We had no name. No one knew who Chiasson was. Mm-hmm. We had no name. Social media allowed us to gain a small following and kind of build the brand up a little bit. But when we started this and we went in that shop, marketing was never a conversation. It never was. It's like, I like building this. Let's build it. Then somebody would come over and was like,
Marketplace.
Yeah. Gosh, I wish more people would want one. It'd be nice for the business. I could make another one next week, or social media changed it.
Right. And I think for small businesses that are thinking about doing this journey of social media, I think it's really important. It's not just the videos, but it also helps you connect with your customers, building relationships in the community. Maybe you got an event going on, or maybe nobody really knows you yet, and you can post on social media your events, or like locally getting some traction, I guess. Community things helps.
Yep. So it's easy. I think it's really easy for us to sit here and say, yeah, you just post videos and engage. So people leave a comment, engage with those comments, be consistent, post videos daily. But now, what about the equipment? Like, what about how do you go about making videos every day?
Right.
And for us, it was 3 or 4. I mean, sometimes we would do 5.
So in the beginning, we always actually use our cell phones for the most part.
That's it. It was, you buy that cell phone if you have a business or not. That cell phone in your pocket is going to be the tool that allows you to bring your creative to life and post about your brand, just to get that awareness. There was no expensive equipment. And to this day, it seems like when I watch a video that is laid out well, but you can tell it was edited on a phone, it's I enjoy watching those videos
Right.
more than like a really professional put together video.
It is true. It's funny watching like videos that go out for like 20 million views, but there's no microphone. It's on like a pixelated phone, and you're like, yeah, but it was so good. It doesn't
was
even
good
matter.
content.
If
That's
it's
it.
good, it's good.
Right. So I don't think anyone would have to make a huge investment into the equipment. You have the phone already. Get you a tripod off
And
of,
editing software is
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
for the most part.
and that's like we're gonna get into the creative here in a minute, but just with the equipment, editing. Do y'all think I knew how to edit a video? Like seriously. I had no clue. But you know what, dude? Who does know? YouTube University. And I went to YouTube and like so if I had a
I
specific
think at
question.
that time it was TikTok University.
Yeah,
Because then TikTok came out with their little editing program, CapCut.
CapCut, yeah.
But then you can also edit in the app. And Jason got so, what's the word? Efficient
Good.
at editing.
Skilled.
Very skilled.
No, I could
TikTok
I could grab it off of my ring light. I could pull it off my ring light. I could look at a 15-minute clip and I could scroll and say, "Oh, this is a spot," and cut it, delete all the rest of it. So I didn't even
Yeah.
have the original content, but a telephone, go to Amazon, order you a tripod, a ring light to put it on. And if you want to get a microphone, they're pretty simple. We didn't have microphones. We just used our
Now we
camera
do.
mic. Right.
Sort of.
So get that out your head. You don't need that. I promise. You do not need that.
Even like you would just set up a tripod and do a time lapse and you just voice over what
Yep.
you were doing
Do a
in the
voiceover.
video.
And
what
like I
your
said,
next
if you
steps
don't know how to
were,
do
what
something,
tools.
go to YouTube and say how, and I'll show you how I type. How, HOW space.
Okay, that's good.
But you understand. I hope you get the point. How to edit this clip. And then now we're going to get into editing. And with the editing, obviously trending sounds are always good because they're trending already and they allow you to get your stuff out. So a trending sound to a quick B-roll clip of your welding table or your wood shop or your candle store or whatever you're doing at home, showing what you're doing and the processes that you're doing it is usually a good video.
Yep.
If you could do 3 or 4 of those a day, you're creating content. And then that content is now something that people can look. So let's say they don't find you organically. Maybe you don't show up on their FYP page, but
For you page.
But maybe they find out about you through somewhere else, and now they search the name of your business, and you've got a bunch of content. So it gives them a sense of security, like they know who you are now. They see that you're doing things, and there's that positive there. The other thing is also eliminating all of the ums and the whats and the the dead time in a video. So that is something I learned.
It keeps you more engaged.
You have to. The things that work the best, or that I find, are short
little clips.
Short little clips. A 3-second clip, then it goes to another 3-second clip, and it's changing. So 1 minute you're facing the camera, the next minute you're walking away the opposite, or the next 3 seconds you're walking away. The next 3 seconds you're sitting down. You're constantly changing the clips. 3-second clips, getting to the point, and no lag. Like just
Right.
cut. That would be the first tip. Lighting is another one. Our best videos are usually when we go outside.
Outside, yeah.
The outside just does very good. Offers good lighting,
Natural light.
Natural light, and it makes a video pop. It really does. The other, so another tip is now kind of getting into the creative is think of the hook. So let's say you have a flower pot and you want to show people your flower pot. Well, come up with a really good hook that would make people stop and watch and not scroll by the video. And I always use myself as an example. Like when I'm on social media and I'm consuming, I'm 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 scrolling. I am scrolling. Something has to stop me.
That is how most everybody will scroll.
You watch anybody. Go to the doctor's office. Go anywhere, and
and
everybody.
you
is
watch
sitting
them,
there
and
waiting.
they will go through so
And they're
many
on their
before they
social
stop.
medias, and they're just scrolling. Their thumb is doing this. Boop, zoop, zoop. Something has to pop, and something has to grab their attention. If you're one of those guys or gals that sits in front of the camera and you've got a 2-second pause before you start talking, scroll. If you if you've got 2
If
seconds,
I didn't edit a video, you would scroll by because I have a big pause before I start talking.
yeah, all of that stuff affects someone stopping and watching your video. But a flower pot, maybe you could sacrifice that flower pot, and that flower pot falls off a shelf, boom, and you get the shot of it falling and breaking, and then it immediately cuts to you and say, "Whoa, did your flower pot break? Check it out. I can make you another one. I can get you another one." But
Here's
here we go.
where you should not put your flower pot
Yeah, do not put flower pots
on a ledge.
on this ledge. Obviously, we're just giving some examples here, but the creative is the hardest part because you have to really think about how you want to hook your audience. You really want to, how do you keep them there? And then how do you maybe get some engagement, where they want to leave a comment or a like, or even better, a follow. Because if you can get someone to follow you, then now you have the opportunity to show them more of your content, help them decide if they like you or not, and then you can also have the opportunity to benefit your business.
Yeah.
So there's more to the don'ts. We've learned some don'ts here. Don't sell features. We learned that.
Yeah.
If we learned that where we were trying to be a commercial, and they do not work. Don't get on there and say, "Hey, I make a fire pit and it's 1/4-inch steel and this is good A36 steel. This is the good stuff. Only the best where I'm at." Guys, nobody cares about that. No one cares. If you can present that 1/4-inch plate with all the custom designs that you can cut out, and you can present that where you're showing off an experience maybe, or the way it makes you feel when you're sitting around with all your friends and your family around the fire, those are always going to be better creatives to create engagement and to make a sale, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And there's also, so there's so many programs out there, because in the beginning we used to post single videos to every single platform.
Yep.
But nowadays there's we use Repurposed.io. We are not sponsored by them, by the way. We just use that because we
Why? Just to mention our sponsors, Chiasson Smoke.
okay, anyway.
Chiasson Smoke. Thank you for all the support.
So we used to post to every single platform. Now we have Repurposed.io. There's other ones like Buffer.
Yeah, there's
Other things, but so we basically post to TikTok first because we like to edit in TikTok sometimes. So we
TikTok
post
is where we post.
and if something ever happens to TikTok, we'll change it. But there's like a workflow, so you basically can post to TikTok, and it'll post from TikTok into Facebook. It'll post from TikTok into Instagram, TikTok into Snapchat, TikTok into LinkedIn if you use it. It'll post to all those platforms without you having to think about it. So that was a huge time saver. I mean, there's little like particulars with it, like certain time limits and stuff. But that made it a lot easier to post to every single platform and even get on more platforms. Like, I don't know, we're not on X. Well, now we can be on X because it'll just post there.
Right. Instead of, because the way we used to do it was we would edit
Copy
on
and paste.
every
Upload the
platform.
video to each platform.
So using a program like Repurposed.io, you basically post it one place and it goes to all the platforms. And this
batch
is a
content, and it'll also schedule them out. But we, the way Jason does videos, the way we do videos is we usually like make the video and then immediately post it. We aren't ones to like make tons of videos in one day and schedule it out throughout the week.
it messes.
We probably should, because when we get very busy during the week or other things come up, it makes it hard to post, and we're very religious about posting 3-4 times a day.
You have to allow time for it.
Yeah.
It's marketing needs to be a major part of the operation.
Yeah.
It has to be. You're either going to hire someone to do it, or if you're going to do it and you're also going to build what you're making in the shop, if you're putting in a 10-hour day, you should dedicate 3 to 4 of those hours to marketing.
And if you do hire somebody, like, I think as long as they understand like your authentic self is still being portrayed in all the videos, like, I think that's important, because hiring someone in and they not get to know you or feel the flow of your videos, what you've been doing before, could seem salesy.
Well, there's all kind of end goals too. We wanted to create a platform that was engaging. We got to know our followers, but
we get to speak to
sometimes
we get to speak to our customers that buy our products, and they give us feedback, and we take that feedback, we bring it back to the shop. There's a lot of pros to having yourself visible on social media for that reason too. Better experience, get to know your customers, etc.
Absolutely. Well, here's an analogy, or the way I think about it in my head. There's this street, and on this street, they've got 1,000 small fabrication shops. It's all on this one street, this virtual street. And we all have a shop, and every one of our shops say custom metalwork, CNC laser, CNC plasma, fabrication. Every single one of our shops have that on there, but some has your name. Ours says Chiasson Smoke. You walk down this street, and every shop is the same. This shop runs out and says, I use 1/4-inch plate on my fire pits. And then that shop runs over there and says, I use 1/2 inch on my fire pits. And the guy's just, imagine the customer that's looking for a fire pit keeps walking, and there's nothing that sets him apart or sets any of these shops apart. But how do you do it is through marketing. And when you get through marketing, maybe outside of one shop, there's, you're doing any sort of, maybe you're try some free samples of my hot dogs here, or
I just made on my fire.
That little thing is immediately gonna get everyone that's walking down that street. If you're the first thing they see, they're all gonna want to stop and try your hot dog. And a few guys might walk in your shop, your virtual shop, your website, and they're gonna look around and see what you have. The point I'm trying to get here is sometimes you've got to do things to stand out from the rest. And that little analogy is what social media is, because if you're posting a bunch of content and you're putting in that effort and that time on your marketing, you're going to stand out than another shop that's not doing it or not putting in the efforts to create good videos, maybe not adding value to his content.
The salesie's pitch is almost like you standing outside the door handing people brochures.
Yeah.
On your
product. I make the best. There's 1,000 shops right here, but out of all these shops, I make the best. And that is very, you got to prove you're the best. And the way that you prove you're the best is you've got to attract people to your store. And usually attracting them is not saying that I'm the best. Um, People don't get to use that best card until their customers call them the best. And that's my opinion on that. You have to earn that. And you'll know because when you're walking down that street, all the customers will be around that shop or those few shops that people like. I know it was kind of a rant there. It's not
No,
even
it's
a
great.
rant, but I
It
think
was a great
it's
analogy.
it's valuable information, and it's totally different than the way I looked at it. I was an employee my entire life, and as an employee, my only experience with marketing is what I seen on TV, and it was usually a salesman, a car salesman, slapping the hood of his car, saying, "This is the best car around here. This is," and that was my experience, and that's how I initially approached it. And so I'm trying to share with everyone the way I think about it now.
So let's talk about some common social media mistakes and how to avoid them.
Well, the mistakes like editing is one where people leave in the
How
dead
about
time,
inconsistent posting?
inconsistency. If you're not posting daily,
Yeah.
the algorithms know it. We've tested it. You can stop posting for 5 days, and or you can stop posting, and then you come back and it feels like it's a slow
I was going to
start.
say, we have never stopped posting for 5 days.
Never for 5 days,
You cannot
but
say that.
I feel like when we miss a day, but it's also
And the algorithm changes, and
all the
that's
time.
just this roller coaster
Yeah.
of emotion
It
sometimes.
could, so this could just be a thing that I do, and it's something that worked, and I
We
don't
only
want to
got
change it.
2,000 views. How is that even possible?
But posting every day was a big
Yeah.
thing for us, and
Another thing that can be overwhelming sometimes, but important is engaging with comments, direct messages,
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah,
and anything on those platforms. It's not just post the video and ghost.
yeah.
There's still a lot that goes into.
No, I mean, posting ghosts is a strategy some
Yeah,
people
some
use.
we aren't as active like on X or on like I think we even post in Snapchat, but
It's really what your
we
goals
kind
are,
of ghost on
yeah.
those.
And you can build a really stable foundation by being engaging, in getting the people that really want to get to know you, and understand, like, if someone asks a question and then you respond to that one person, understand that most people go to read comments, and so you're not only answering that one question.
It may be the most common question everybody wants to know.
Yeah, you're responding to a lot of people, and that's why I say now. I mean, you have to devote three. If it takes you 10 hours a day in your shop to build the widget that you're doing, then you need to work 14-hour days, because you need to work your 10 hours to build your widget. And then once your widgets are done and you're done for your day, you've met what you're going to do, you've got about 4 hours of editing, posting, engagement. That's what we set aside for ourselves. And there's also the creative too. You can break it up any way you want. You can work from 6 to 9, and then from 9 to 11 you get content, edit, post, and engage. And then from 11 to 5 you're back in the shop with your tripod running, just getting content. And then from 5, and then when you get done at 5, you say from 5 to 7,
Eat dinner. No, just kidding.
well, if you got time
Where's
to eat,
Jason?
if you got time to eat, you probably don't need social media anyway. You're probably busy enough.
Oh, yeah.
But that is probably somewhat. You just block that time off, and it's gonna help for sure.
Also, when you're visible on social media like we are, you'll get scam accounts. So there'll be people trying to mimic you, take your videos, monetize off your videos, and that you constantly have to be on top of, in a sense, because you need to let all your trusting community of people know, like, these aren't us. Don't respond to this. Don't pay anybody through PayPal or whatever it may be that people try to do. But that's something you got to be aware of too when you start
Yeah, I think
posting.
everybody, yeah, it's one of those things that you're gonna have to deal with if you post on social media.
No matter how much you ask them to report, you report, they just remain, unfortunately.
And let's not forget the opportunities being active on social media. Other opportunities are for other creators. So if there's ever an opportunity, just for example, like for us, an opportunity comes up to work with someone else or another creator, we wanna see their content, and their content tells their story. Do their ideas, do their beliefs align with who we are, or are they, maybe they don't align with who we are, so maybe we don't want to have that partnership with that particular brand. um it's
It's networking.
it's all, yeah, it's it's like
We have
it's
met so many people going to like fabrication, the Fab Tech Expo every year. I mean, it's to us, we're just like this little old shop in Southwest Wisconsin, and then we go out to somewhere like Fab Tech, and we're going to look at tools for the shop, and it's amazing how many people come up to us and are like, you inspire us, and we love your videos, and it's like, whoa! But that none of that never would have happened if we wouldn't have been on social media and active and visible and
right.
created a brand
And
for ourselves.
the whole point to this specific episode was, I want to tell people that you can do this. Like, if I can do it, I assure you, you can do it. Like, I have no education. I'm just old.
I have to help him write emails still.
Yeah. So like,
No.
it's just, if you want to do it, there's ways to do it, and it's not going to cost you a whole bunch of money. Marketing needs to be part of your business plan.
And there's also more things now available than when we started. We still haven't even grasped it. Like even
Right.
just like AI.
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, like putting in, hey, can you help me with a week of content, please, for my business? And
Preach it, Miranda.
Chat GPT can learn your
That's right.
business. It can learn all about your business. Actually, you can have it like interview you, and you can type in all the answers, and now they have a good idea what your business is, what you do, what you sell, how many employees you have, where you are in the world, and you can literally now start, hey, so today I'm going to be building this. Can you help me come up with some content revolving around this? And it'll come up with all this stuff. It'll give you some hooks, it'll give you some hashtags, it'll give you things, and it really does help the amount of time that we used to take.
Yeah,
We still don't use it as much as we should,
I'm still learning.
but it'll
utilize
definitely help. Like when we do our little skits, we'll be like, oh, I don't know, like based around like buying a tool or something. We'll say, man, think of a funny skit between a husband and wife about a new tool that he should not buy. And it'll just kind of help us keep a little organized with our content.
Yeah, I think that's the main idea is it can lay out your idea, so you can tell
You
it.
have the idea. You
what
have
wanna-
it
how you
organized
wanna
your
do.
thoughts.
And instead of you sitting there and you trying to structure it and lay it out so that it's easy for you to follow when you go out to shoot the video, it does it all for you. And
Kind of like a little storyboard.
yeah, and it does it. It just saves so much time.
It does.
And
So
and utilizing.
that's some recommendations, especially in the beginning. If you're just starting to do content creation, or even if you have been doing it for a while, it can kind of lay out your week or your day. Even helps us with our podcasts, keeping organized, even though we tend to go off in different directions. But it helps
Well, I
us
feel like
keep
there's
a little
I
organized.
feel like there's more things that we can definitely discuss.
Yeah, we could talk for hours and hours and hours about social media and marketing.
Yeah, but
And we still are need to work on things. Like we're not on LinkedIn, business to business. We're not on some other platforms that we could be more active on, but we're not.
right.
YouTube, we're really trying to jump back into YouTube again, and it's a lot of platforms to juggle, but we're slowly getting it figured out how to manage it. But it's important. It's a very, very important part of our business.
Right. And I think if we're gonna touch like that is understanding or getting out of that mindset of like that employee mindset I had, which was basically I just got to do the work and then if I do the work, um, people will like it and they're gonna buy it. Well, I had to get people in the store, the virtual store, content, creating content is what's allowed that to happen for us. And I honestly believe that anyone out there doing it can also do it, especially like I'm trying to tell you some things that I did that didn't work so that you can take it and just say, okay, I'm not going to be a salesman. I'm not going to stand in front of my product and just try to be a sales pitch and just sell features. Really start thinking about like lifestyle video content to share on social media. And that lifestyle is your lifestyle, what you enjoy doing. That's what's worked for us.
It's also knowing your why and why you even do what
Yeah,
you
why are
do.
you doing it?
Like being authentic, letting people know like why I'm even doing this, what I want to help people achieve by having my product or whatever it may be or my
Or
service.
how does my product help
Yeah, how
them?
does that help?
Um, an example was a video. I like chess, okay, and then I came across a video of a guy with a chessboard, and it was a really unique looking chessboard, and they're playing chess, and there's a group of friends, and they're laughing, and it made me stop and watch the video. One, I enjoy chess, so I saw the chessboard, but I ended up buying a chessboard.
Yeah, because
From
didn't you like go on his channel and you saw he
yeah,
was really consistent. He was posting all the time. He was trying. He
yeah,
had his
but his
family.
videos were he'd give a like
Yeah.
he's building chessboards, but he'd do a little video on like a tip or something like that, a little
And
but
another, can I just add to that? Because you said you went and you bought a chessboard from him because you saw a video. So I think another important thing to add is if you are going to be doing all these videos, make it very easy for people to purchase your product. If
yes.
you're doing a product or a service, like really make it clear on your website where to buy it, how to buy it, etc. Because people usually buy on impulse. And I promise you, if that guy wouldn't have had an easy way for you to check out and buy it, you wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah. I don't understand how like you can't when it comes to products like this, you can't you can't answer a phone and say, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" Yeah, I'll put you down for one. Um, okay, I'll put
Yeah.
like it. You can't do it.
It's
The website literally every morning you have a list of everything that is sold. You know what you have to do. You can organize your day. Like if we had a morning where we sold maybe a bunch of fire pits, well, we know that day that okay, let's go ahead and we're gonna be cutting 3/16 all day. You know,
right.
and make your day compared to getting a phone call, writing it down. You're trying to do stuff in the shop, like
Takes too much time to do
yeah.
that.
So not only is it easier on you, um, but like Miranda was saying, it has to be easy. Someone has to feel like they can push the button, autofill, autofill, because I
Yeah.
don't like
I
looking
mean,
for my
that's,
wallet and trying to find my credit card. So I do autofill,
and luckily, like,
autofill my address, checkout. That's how easy it needs to be for me to buy from you.
yep.
And I think most people would agree with that.
He just
So
repeated everything I said. That's good. He knows that's mostly what people
yeah, absolutely,
feel when they go to buy something. But
absolutely. The so I think
to wrap it up,
to wrap it up, but I also want to talk about the creative. this is where how do you make something cutting out on a plasma table interesting? How do you make any of this stuff interesting? And that's where the creative comes in.
And I
And
think the more you post, the more you do it, you'll get better at that, I think.
yeah.
Or maybe you're not a creative person and maybe the best thing is to hire somebody, but you never
If
you
you're
just
not a
gotta
creative
feel it
person,
out.
this is what I think you should do. Um, if you're not a creative person, you get Chat GPT.
Yes, you do.
You get Chat GPT, and then you prompt Chat GPT to learn who you are, and you spend a few hours at
Hey,
night.
Chat GPT, please come up with a creative
Well, but Chat
way
GPT
to make
won't
this
do that
video.
until it knows who you are. And Chat GPT will ask you tons of questions.
Doesn't have to know who you are personally, but
Makes it better.
yeah, maybe.
But
I'm not creative. Please
you
come up
prompt
with
in
a
that
video.
you utilize Chat GPT and be very specific with your prompts and say, hey, I'm cutting out a custom sign for a customer today on my CNC plasma table. I would really like to make a short form video that is very eye grabbing, and kind of shows off our capabilities, shows what our shop is capable of doing. Boom. And then it'll
But
come
make
back.
it funny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
And
it
make it
might
funny.
come out with something.
And it'll come out scene one, torch tip heading down, touching the plate of steel. And you're like, oh, that would be a good hook. And then you go and you get that shot.
Yeah.
And then cut to the
It
sparks
helps.
flying off. So you edit it to where right when it strikes off, those are two little hooks that would probably make someone stop and see what's going on. And then third clip is panning out um, from the cut or whatever.
He's got a video in his head right
I
now.
got a video in my head right
He's
now.
about
Let's
ready
go.
to shoot it. You gonna do that video when we're done?
Yeah, I think I've done about 10 of those already.
I know.
but
They can be. That's another thing. Repetitive.
I think the point is start utilizing Chat GPT. That can help you with some of the creative. And sometimes it gives me ideas that we don't use, but it gets me going in the right direction of like, oh, how I could utilize this or not use it.
Yeah. And also, you can get paid a little bit for doing videos
Right.
too. So
Yep.
you not only you're making content for yourself, for your products, for your services, but you can make a little bit of money on the side if
Yep.
you're consistent.
And
That's not the main reasons for us,
but it is a little bit of a motivator.
it is a motivator.
And it's also a motivator to realize you have to look at your past content and look at it and
Look at it.
be like, you got to be truthful to yourself and say, yeah, if I saw this content, I would just scroll by. Give it give it to a friend of yours. You could test it out, and give them your phone and say, hey, there's 10 videos right there. Just stop at the one you like the most. And if they scroll through all 10 or you don't tell them exactly what the number is, it gives you an idea that you probably don't have good hooks that are causing people to want to stop and see what you're talking about. I could go on and on about this, but I'm hoping what you gathered from this today is you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. There are tools out there that can help you with the creative side.
Trust us when we say our first videos were horrible for
Yeah.
about 200 some. So,
They were sales pitches.
and we look back even more recently, a year or 2 years from now and ago, and we're like, wow, that was really bad. Wow, the microphone, what microphone?
Yep.
Like, it was bad sound. Like, how did that go viral?
Right.
But
So
don't give up.
Yeah.
Post. Don't delete if they do bad, because you never know. Sometimes it takes some time for videos to go out or hit the right people, different people.
I think the main thing is if you're sincerely sharing your ideas, sharing who you are, it's going to work out for you. And you have to get better at it. Just like you get better at woodworking or metalworking or candle making or whatever it is.
No, if you're doing it as much as we do it, there's no way you are not going to get better at doing it.
Right.
Like
You're
it's consistency.
you're trying, just try to get better. YouTube questions, and you'll usually find some answers of how to do certain things that you're trying to get accomplished.
All right.
I mean, that's all I have. I hope this was helpful. I hope it kind of gave you kind of like some insights of how we did it and what
if
we're
you have
still
any
learning.
specific questions, just comment in the comment section, and we'll see if we can answer them.
Yeah.
And
big shout out to our sponsors.
You already did that.
Chiasson Smoke. Great company out of Southwest Wisconsin. I highly recommend you look them up and
I love them. They're
check
just
out their
so
story.
Cool. They're great people.
All right. Well, that wraps up episode 5. Thank you again. We'll see you next Wednesday for episode 6.
Yeehaw.